You're listening to Real Estate Radio Show 20.
Welcome to Real Estate Radio,
where we bring you knowledge through industry interviews.
Join us as we talk with members of the real estate community and listen as they share their insights and experiences.
And now your host of Real Estate Radio, Greg Welch.
Hi, Real Estate Radio listeners. Before we get started today, I wanted to mention a few things. One of which is we've added a forum, and each of our guests will have a special spot in there. The other thing is we are now accepting articles. So if you'd like to write an article and post it up there, we'll give you a link to your website as well as credit right on the page. And for those of our guests that have already done a podcast, feel free to submit an article and we will add that to your personal interview page. All right, on to the interview. Our guest today is Delinda Crampton with Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices. Welcome, Delinda. Thank you for joining us on the show today.
Thanks so much, Greg. I appreciate it, and I'm thrilled to be here.
Hey, Delinda, before we get started, would you mind telling our listeners just a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, prior to real estate, I had a 12-year career in television, and that led me to Missouri, Alaska, Tampa, and then finally Las Vegas in 1998. And that's where I met my husband. And so my dad's prediction came true that I was going to get stuck in Las Vegas. I have two boys, ages 4 and 7. They definitely keep me on my toes. And I've been in real estate now going on 12 years.
Delinda, thank you for that. Delinda, would you mind also telling us about the area in Las Vegas that you focus on, or a little bit about the area that you live?
Well, I live in the Green Valley part of Henderson, but when I was working in television, I really got to know the whole valley very well, which has really aided me in my real estate services. One of my areas of specialty is the luxury market. And in order to serve that market better, I obtained my Certified Luxury Home Marketing Specialist designation.
Delinda, would you mind telling us about the market conditions in Henderson?
Absolutely. Actually, in Henderson and throughout Las Vegas, we're continuing to see a decrease in distressed inventory. It used to be that we had a third of our listings were short sales and a third were bank owned. And now we're down to only 8% bank owned and 12% short sales. We're also seeing fewer cash buyers in the market. It used to be over half, and now we're under that 50%. And finally, we're seeing more sales than ever in the $250,000 to $1 million price range. That's the product that's really moving right now.
So you see the market actually opening up to the owner-occupied then, as opposed to the investor?
Yes, the investors have mostly moved out of the market. There are a few stragglers, but what we're seeing is the majority of buyers are primary homeowners. And actually, this year, we are going to see more buyers than ever in the marketplace than we've seen in the past 2 years. And that's for a couple of reasons. First off, interest rates are still low, but buyers know that they will be going up at some point. And second, I think that people are feeling more confidence in the economy and like things are turning around.
You know, I was saying that myself. Delinda, would you tell us where you feel the city is headed in the next few years?
Absolutely. I think that this coming year, we're going to see kind of standard of appreciation of about 3 to 6%. But I feel like we have the perfect storm brewing for a housing shortage for a number of reasons. First off, the millennials are now coming of home buyer age, and they're an even bigger segment of the population than the baby boomers. And then we've got the boomerang buyers that are coming back into the market. Those are people that had short sales and foreclosures and bankruptcies that now can qualify again to buy a home. Seniors are also living in their homes longer than ever, which means less homes coming on the market. And then new builds are having to play catch up. They stopped building when the market crashed, and we need 1.1 million new builds every year just to keep up with the population growth. And they got way behind that. And finally, all the immigrants who are coming are buying homes as well. And so those 5 factors, I think, will really lead to a housing shortage, which I think could really increase home prices.
Those are some interesting stats. I'm hoping to expand on some of those on the website. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Would you take a few minutes and tell us about your preferred marketing style for attracting new clients?
Absolutely. One of the things I love about this business is the relationships that are built. And so my marketing style is very relational. I throw parties where my clients actually build a community among themselves. I'll call and check in on people every so often or stop by to say hi and give them a little gift. I'll also send out useful information every so often that I come across that I think might be helpful to my clients and people in my sphere of influence.
Okay, so you do that through a newsletter?
Yes. And then another way that I do that is through YouTube videos. I give real estate updates, whether it's what's going on in the market or tips and trends that we're seeing. And then I market through social media as well.
Okay, I've seen some of your YouTube videos. You're actually quite active on there from what I can tell.
Yes.
In addition to the newsletter, you mentioned you do the YouTube. Any other services you use to market yourself?
Absolutely. We use direct mailers in target communities. And in those mailers, we'll offer recipients an opportunity to obtain current market value on their home. I'm also a member of BNI Business Network International here in Henderson, and we meet weekly for networking and to exchange referrals.
Oh, I like that idea.
Also, we do the traditional forms of advertising that you see all the other realtors out there doing, such as the real estate magazines. We advertise both in the digital versions and the print versions.
Okay, thank you for that, Delinda. Delinda, I'd like to get into today's technology and how you use it to further your business.
Absolutely. One that comes to mind right off the bat is Skype. I had a client who was military and was out of state, and they needed to purchase a home before moving here. And so, because of Skype, I was able to put on the video, walk through the home. We were able to chat about it. She could say, hey, move back to this, and really give her a good feel for the home other than just pictures on the internet. Another thing is smartphones. More and more people are relying on the internet for finding a home, and the use of the smartphones and the iPhones and the tablets and other portable devices has increased dramatically over the last few years. And so it allows users to conduct business from virtually anywhere in the world. We like applications like Zillow, Realtor.com, and even our own Berkshire Hathaway's website provide us as realtors as well as consumers the opportunity to search for homes. We can request up-to-date market conditions and even get current values on homes.
Delinda, I was going to ask you if you use the e-signature on the smartphone?
We absolutely use e-signature. We have so many clients that we're not there right with them in person, and so they're able to use the industry-wide DocuSign, which is very convenient and very easy to use.
Also, Delinda, you mentioned using Skype while showing a property. Are you doing that through your cell phone using the apps?
I actually used my iPad to do that.
Very cool. Delinda, how do you stay top of mind or relevant with your clients? And by that, I mean, email systems, social media sites, CRMs. Do you use any of those?
Sure, absolutely. I use all of them. First off, I have an extensive CRM. It's through Buffini and Company, and I use that to stay in touch with my clients and followers. I send out monthly newsletters and other communications. Their programs also provide integrated business management and marketing tools. And then Berkshire Hathaway, they have an integrated marketing program built into our agent account where we can customize communications to stay in touch with our clients. And the social media front, you asked about that. Our primary fan base is on Facebook, but we cross-promote that to all the other social media sites, such as Twitter or Google+, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube, all on a regular basis. And then all of our listings are cross-promoted for maximum exposure. And then we also provide industry-specific information and links. And we like to incorporate a little blend of lighthearted and inspirational quotes along with all the informational material. And then sometimes we'll even run contests just to help keep readers engaged. And then finally, I think you asked about my own website. Yes, I do have one. It is tied into Berkshire Hathaway's company website. And my website is searchable through my own domain name, which is vegasHomesAvailable.com. And we use that to market current homes that we have listed and also provide visitors to the site an opportunity where they can sign up for market updates if they want or to receive other relevant marketing information. And so once on the site, clients can search the MLS just like a realtor, which I think is really cool. And they can look at individual properties with all the market information on the home. They can view photos. They can take a virtual tour, or if they need to, they can send an email directly to me from the site with any questions they might have.
Okay, so you've tied in the IDX into your website, as well as linking to the YouTube videos of previewing the homes?
Yes, everything is linked together.
You mentioned you put out a newsletter to stay in touch with your clients. Can you tell me a little bit more about it?
I use a item of value that I send out monthly through Buffini and Company's CRM program. What we do is we mix up in that item of value a combination of market information and then personal information too, because people want to know when they're using a realtor that you're competent, but at the same time, you also care about them as a person.
Yeah, I think that's key is staying in touch with them and not necessarily a deeply connected level, but enough that you're just staying in touch, saying hi and making sure everything's good, answering all their questions.
Yes, and I'm constantly in touch. I'm not one of those people where people are going to be like, "Oh, I bought a home 8 years ago, and who was the realtor I used? What was their name?" I throw the client parties like I talked about earlier, and love to just call and check in or stop by and see what people have done to the home after they're all settled in, that kind of thing.
Delinda, I'd like to get into a little bit of the personal side of the business. Can you share with us something that you've struggled with in your business and how you were able to overcome it?
Well, breaking into a new business is always a challenge. Going from television to real estate is like a complete 180. And I tell you, when I first entered the business, I was working 14-hour days and I was getting so frustrated because I felt like I was doing all the right things and yet I wasn't getting the closings. And then finally, 3 months later, I finally got the first closing. And after that, it was like the floodgates opened and realized that once I got in it and was doing it, that as much as I had loved my TV career, real estate was my true passion and I had found my niche.
When you say you went from a 14-hour day to your first sale and things changed, can you kind of go a little deeper and tell me what changed to make it easier for you?
Once you get that first sale, then as long as you work in a relational manner, then people are going to start referring you and want to send their family and friends to you. And so it just builds and builds and builds upon itself.
Okay, so the connections you made during that initial time period is what helped. Oh, wonderful.
Absolutely. And then, what else has been helpful to me is I have two outstanding real estate coaches. One is through Brian Buffini and the other is Dave Ramsey. And they provide additional insight into the real estate industry. And they've also been instrumental in providing ongoing referrals through their referral program. And when I am coming across a stumbling block or considering a project or a change in my business, they're my go-to mentors. And it's awesome to have someone like that with so much experience. Even though I've been in the industry 12 years, they've been 20 years plus to go to and ask those questions.
Yeah, so through their training courses, you were able to get an idea of some of the marketing tactics to keep in touch.
Absolutely.
Delinda, do you have a really great success story or a funny story related to the business?
I do, actually. I have both. As far as success, I'm really excited that I've gotten to the point where I'm able to sell on average a home every 5 days and that my list to sales price ratio is 99%. And one that comes to mind is just last month, I listed a home in Regency at the Lakes, a guard gated community, for $800,000. And the highest sale in there had been in the mid 500s. And I was able to get them that full $800,000 with a cash buyer. And they were only on the market for 53 days. And as far as a funny story, I will never forget the time I was out showing a home to some clients and we went into the backyard. And when we went to go back into the house, all of a sudden we were locked into the backyard. And we're like, oh, great. How are we going to get out of here? And I was wearing a skirt that day, and I actually had to climb over a block wall in a skirt to get back to the front door that was unlocked.
Oh, that's a tough one.
It was quite a sight, I'm sure. And try to maintain my modesty at the same time.
Yes. Oh, I love that. That's great. Thank you. Delinda, what quality or characteristic do you feel you possess that has helped you most in your business?
Probably the thing that has helped me the most is my perseverance and consistency. It's easy to get discouraged or throw in the towel when things are rough. And starting a business takes a lot of hard work and patience. And just don't quit and just keep on in a consistent manner where people can come to count on you and know that you're always going to be there. It's easy to walk away when you're struggling. But if you love what you do, and I not only love what I do, it's truly my passion, then giving up isn't an option. And I believe because I haven't given up, it sustained me. And I even grew my business during a time when the market was plummeting. And it's rewarded me with a lucrative business, a talented team of professionals on my team, and personal and professional growth that have just been beyond compare.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for that.
Sure.
Do you ever unplug from the business?
Sometimes easier said than done because I love what I do. And so I tend to be a little bit of a workaholic, and my husband has to keep me reined in. But to completely unplug, one of my biggest passions is world travel. And when you're in other countries, sometimes, phone access is not even an option. I also have an adrenaline rush side to me. And so I love things like scuba diving and snow skiing. And I've even done the aerial plane rides and gone skydiving and rock climbing and rappelling and things like that.
Wow, I wouldn't have guessed.
I know.
I'm an avid scuba diver myself, but I don't know about jumping out of a plane.
The scariest part of that was not the falling, because when you're falling, you just feel a bunch of air rushing up at you, but it was actually looking out and taking that leap. One of the most frightening things I've probably ever done in my life was that single step.
Sounds like you overcame it, though.
Yep, I'm a perseverer, not a quitter.
Delinda, what advice would you give to a new agent just starting out?
You can't be a jack of all trades. So focus on one thing and do it consistently. And one of the things that I've done to help out newer agents is facilitate what's called a peak producers class. It's a 12-week program, and it really helps them start those relationships, get their database in order, learn to juggle all the hats that we play as a realtor, the CEO hat, the COO hat, and the CFO hat. And that class is actually great for experienced realtors as well who are struggling to take their business to the next level.
You got to stay with it, right?
Yep. I just think that you focus on the best things. There's so many great options out there. Focus on what is the best thing and just keep doing that consistently.
What advice or helpful tip would you give to a potential home seller to help them get ready for a sales process?
One of the first tips I would give is if they've ever walked into a model home, picture how that home looks. It's very free from clutter, and you'll see a few accent pieces around. And while their home is not a model home, it's lived in, I would say get it as close to that as you can. And also, of course, take down personal pictures. People, when they come in, they'll feel like they're invading someone's private space if there's all these personal family photos around.
That's great advice. What advice or helpful tip would you give to a potential home buyer to help them better prepare for that purchase?
Most home buyers, the first place they go look is on the internet, and a very popular site is Zillow, where they can go get Z estimates on homes and whatnot. And what people don't realize is Zillow actually has a disclaimer as to how inaccurate it really is. And so I think that one of the best things they can do is get connected with a realtor who can really educate them on how the market is. For example, what we do with our new home buyers is the very first step is to have a consultation at our office. And at that consultation, we'll fill them in on what the current home buying climate is like. We'll also go through the whole process of what they can expect as a buyer, with inspections and appraisals and offers and counteroffers and what a contract looks like and all that kind of thing. We'll also connect them with a lender because it's very important to get that pre-approval so that they know that how much their payment's going to be, and so that they know that they truly qualify for the homes that they're looking at.
Delinda, earlier you also mentioned seminars that you offer that help first-time home buyers.
Yes, we've done numerous different seminars. For example, back when people were so upside down in their homes, we were offering a short sale seminar. There was so much confusion out there in the marketplace as to what a short sale was. People thought, oh, it's called a short sale, so that means it's a quick sale. Actually, in reality, it was usually 3 months or longer to get a short sale done. So, we were able to help a tremendous amount of people through those. We've done the home seller seminar, the home buyer seminar, things like that, just to help inform people, answer questions. And for me, it's a way to give back.
Thank you for that advice, Delinda. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
Delinda, can you recommend a favorite app or software that really helps you in your business?
Yes, I can. For me, my favorite app is the Buffini and Company CRM. I have it installed on my phone and on my computer. And what I can do is, because I have input my numbers in there year after year, it breaks my business down to a science. And I can see how many contacts I need to make to get a referral and how many referrals I need to get a closing. It breaks my business down to telling me what my average sales price is and what my list price to sales price is, and what that ratio looks like and what my average commission is. And so I'm really able to, based on past numbers, I'm able to see what kind of activities I need to do in order to achieve my financial goal that year.
Delinda, do you have a favorite social media site for attracting leads or maybe nurturing existing clients?
One of my favorite sites is probably Facebook, because you feel like you know what's going on with people. And when you look at a post that you want to respond to, you can either private message them or just post a response, or better yet, just pick up the phone and say hi and, hey, I saw, what you said on Facebook. And I just think that makes it so much more personal.
Delinda, what is your favorite resource for market-related news?
What I have found is title companies can be such a great source of information. On a monthly basis, they send out a market update with the previous month's sales. Also, I like to keep up on industry news through the National Association of Realtors internet site, and then also the magazine that they put out.
Okay, thank you. Delinda, do you have a great resource or a quote or a mantra that you'd like to share with us?
I love the affirmation, I can, I will, I believe, because so much in life is belief in oneself. And if you believe in yourself that you can do it, you absolutely can do it.
That sounds wonderful. I like the drive. Delinda, thank you for taking the time to share with us today. I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure.
Thanks for listening to Real Estate Radio Show as we share knowledge through industry interviews. For show notes and more information on how to reach today's guest, Delinda Crampton, go to realestateradioshow.com/20.
You've just tuned in to another Real Estate Radio production.
Join our newsletter to receive the latest interviews delivered right to your inbox.
Don't forget to request an interview.
Visit Real Estate Radio to hear more great podcasts like the one today.